Thanks, Rita Tinina. And we want to bring in a food specialist now, actually an agricultural specialist, and that is none other than Mr. Kaunga, who works for Farm Concern International. And many thanks, Antony Kaunga, for joining us. What do you make of the recent developments around the government's approach to subsidize the cost of maize flour?
Food and nutrition security is a global issue and it's an unresolved issue, and it requires a collaborative effort between all of us, where we need to have the private sector, we need to have farmers who are the producers, we need to have agro-pastoralists, we need to have media, it's an issue that all of us need to collaborate. It's a very complex matter that really requires all of us to chip in to make sure that we're able to address this issue of food security and nutrition.
Mm-hmm. So what do you make of them reducing the costs? Was it a popular move? We are heading to the elections. Was it the right thing for the government to do?
Basically, to me, I think it's a contribution that they are also contributing to this food and nutrition security, because it requires all of us to join hands and address it, all the way making sure that even our smaller farmers, they know they have their own responsibility to make sure that they are able to address the food security. So it's, all of us are trying to look at it and ask what is this that we can be able to do to avail food to our families and say other Kenyans here. So I think they are also contributing to the aspect of addressing food and nutrition security.
So what do you think will happen now that the farmers in the country have some maize stocks and additional maize has been imported from Mexico?
I think the thing here is food shortage is really a complicated matter. And all of us, as I'm saying, we really need to contribute to that in terms of ensuring what is this that you can be able to do to put food on the table for all of us.
All right.
Yeah.
Many people would expect the government to increase productivity and not import. I don't know, what school of thought do you subscribe to? I know as Farm Concern International, you're very active when it comes to capacity building and also just seeing arid and semi-arid lands being converted into productive agricultural land.
Yeah, it is. When you look at arid and semi-arid, around 89% of this country is in arid and semi-arid areas, and this is where 70% of the national livestock herd is home for that. And then look at around 90% of the ASA regions is where we used our game, our wild game. This is where it supports our industry. So I think, yeah, we do capacity building for smallholder farmers and agro-pastoralists, and we have our implementation model called the commercial village model. This is where we mobilize the entire villages to make sure that they are producing not only for the market, but to organize them where they need to plan and they prioritize crops and livestock for food and nutrition security. Because you realize commercialization, we ensure that it is not choking the food security. So even as farmers, as we build their capacity, as we facilitate linkage with the input companies to be able to access improved varieties and other farm inputs, as we link them to those buyers who are able to buy from the farmers, and the farmers are able to increase their productivity through triggering the process of production, because there's an assured market. So when you look at the food security, we're also looking at how we are building the capacity and the efficiency of the value chain, because basically smallholder farmers are not able to participate in the market competitively because of the inefficiency in the system. So,
right. Yeah. And speaking about inefficiencies in the system, we are yet to address Kenya being a food secure country. The production we are getting out of agricultural land hasn't been growing as fast as the population has been growing. At the same time, what are some of the options that we need to look at as a country so as to boost productivity? I know there are plans in Tana River County where they're doing the Galana Kulalo Food Security Project, which did not take off as many Kenyans would have hoped. Perhaps are there other low-hanging fruits that we need to consider as a country?
Yes, they are. When you look at our country again, you realize it is divided into different ecological zones. And what you do when you are trying to address the aspect of the food security, in Farm Concern International, what we do value chain analysis. This value chain analysis is to help us to prioritize the value chains that are profitable to smallholder farmers, but also beneficial to the urban people who require food. So what you do is to make sure that what farmers are producing is what is ecologically suited to that region. For example, if you are looking at arid semi-arid areas, we have different varieties and livestock that you can also be able to promote in those areas. So what you look at is where you are looking at is this commodity that you want to produce, whether you are looking at any part of this country, is it ecologically supported? And if it is ecologically supported, is it viable? Is it profitable for smallholder farmers for them to be able to adopt? Because when farmers are assured of the market, they are able to it triggers adoption of the improved varieties, expansion of the acreages, but now it's also going to look at what is this that you are promoting, this ecological. So you need to promote something that is ecologically suitable, that is profitable for smallholder farmers to be able to adopt it, and again, it is also meeting the food and the nutrition value for both household and urban people. But the other thing is also looking at the prices of food when you are pricing. So also where we do a lot of cost-benefit analysis with our smallholder farmers and agro-pastoralists to be able to know what is this that when they are making their decision, are they making their decision based on the net income? And on the other side, we're also looking at the distribution where you are working with the distributors, you are working with those who buyers, you are working with the aggregators and the supply companies to make sure that food is efficiently delivered to the urban people on time.
All right.
Yeah.
Many thanks, Antony Kaunga, technical specialist working for Farm Concern International. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.